Hey, what's up everybody? John here, and it is another Saturday. Well, it's kind of warm standing in the sunshine, but up until the last half hour it was nice and cool and overcast, and but we got some clouds that keep rolling through. Looks like we're probably going to get some rain sometime soon, so we're going to try to get some stuff done here in the garden. Kelly's going to plant some beets for some fall harvest stuff. We'll take a look at some of the other things that just continue to grow. Maybe it's some stuff that we're getting rid of, and yeah, we'll just take a general tour. So you guys stick around, come with me, and let's go. Okay guys, so I know I just did the intro and I should be getting to the garden itself, but we had a little happening here at the end of our time in the garden. So stick around till the end of the video and you're gonna see something amazing. Okay, so what are we doing? What's the plan right now?
So right now we're gonna be planting some beets. We decided to try to do a few things for a fall garden. And there's still enough time, barely, we're getting just barely in the window of enough time before the first frost. Our predicted first frost is October 16th. Now, that's an estimate. It always could come earlier or be a little later, whatever. So that's, at this point, less than 60 days from now. It's just crazy to think about 60 days from now. It's gonna feel like fall. But, so for that, in that time period, we should be able to do some beets and peas. They take anywhere from 50 to 60 days. So that's what we're going to plant today. And right now we're going to work on beets. These are going to be planted where we had the full cabbage bed because we cleared that out and we added some composted manure into it a couple weeks ago. It's all mixed up. We added dirt. It's ready to go. And so right now John and I are going to put the beet seeds in. And they should have 4 to 6, this says 4 to 6 inch spacing. So we're just gonna kind of go along a grid, and every 6 inches either direction, plant a seed about a ½ inch deep, and we'll cover it up and then sprinkle it with water, and hopefully soon we'll have some beets.
So you can see that is what beet seeds look like. All right, so we got the beets all planted, and now Kelly's gonna give them all a really good drink, and then we will move on and do some other stuff here in the garden. I think after we're done here, after Kelly's finished watering, then these cucumber plants over here are going to come out. So we got the wheelbarrow ready to go, and we will start here in just a little bit clearing out that space there. In the meantime, enjoy Kelly's watering skills. Anyway, we're gonna let her finish up, and then we'll be back in just a little bit. All right, well, that sun is bright. It's messing with the it's messing with me. Anyway, While Kelly is watering the freshly planted beet seeds, we're just gonna take a real quick tour and take a look at the things here in the garden before we get over to taking out the cucumber bed. So here we go. And like we always do, almost always, we start over here with our tomato plants. You know, we've struggled all summer with tomatoes and whatnot, but I mean, we've got tomatoes growing that are red. I kind of mentioned these last time. They started with just dark on the top and they were green on the bottom, and so now they've turned red, but they still got a dark green on top. We're just not sure what the issue is with these. So if you know, if you're a tomato person, let me know. But there's a lot of tomatoes growing on some of these, but most of them are green. Although it took most of the summer, but our marigolds, they finally took off. Next year we'll plant them a little earlier. There's our yellow squash. If you watched my video when I was cooking, I cooked one of our yellow squashes and it was really good. But you notice on the leaves, little white spots. Yeah, so those little white spots are called powdery mildew. And we've got other things here in the garden, big leafy plants like that have also got it. Some of them were completely covered and the big leaves were just white from the mildew. And so this last Tuesday, early in the summer, we got some neem oil trying to get rid of the Japanese beetles. It just didn't work for us, so we went another direction for the beetles. But neem oil is also good for powdery mildew, and so Tuesday of this week I came out here and I sprayed everything down that had the powdery mildew. And so when it's established already, then it's on like a 7-day spray cycle. So I sprayed on Tuesday. This coming Tuesday, I'll probably get out here again and spray once again, and hopefully we'll be able to kick that out, knock it down. It really isn't that harmful. It's not harmful to people, but eventually it causes the leaves to shrivel up, turn yellow, die, and we don't want that. So if we just make it through the rest of the summer growing season, that'll be great. But so anyway, neem oil, it's good for that. So yeah, there we go. Let's continue. So yesterday, Kelly cut up a number of our jalapenos and made pico, and it was tasty. We've got a number of, see in there? We've got a number of the bell peppers, the what kind is that? Carnival bell peppers, still growing. A couple of green peppers on here somewhere. More tomatoes with some getting ripe. Back over here, if you remember, these are, these are the zucchinis that we had problems with the borers in. We still don't have any zucchini, but pretty plant. And Kelly, she took out all of the lettuce, and this last week she planted new lettuce, and you can see right there it is growing. So coming into some cooler weather, it should start growing well and hopefully thriving. She also planted some spinach on this half and down here, so we're waiting for that to grow. We've never planted spinach, and so we hope it does well. I think it's supposed to do good in cooler weather. Heat of the summer, it's just it was just a weird summer this year. So yeah, anyway, hopefully this fall we'll have some good spinach and some good lettuce. So, and our potatoes, the plants have finally started to die off. Not as many over here, but we have more over there. But anyway, I think we're waiting until all the plants die, and that's about the good time. So about 2 to 3 weeks after they die, typically, is what they say is a good time to go ahead and harvest the potatoes. So we're not far away from being able to do that. I don't know how many we're going to have, but if we have some, that'll be great. So anyway, on with the tour. So right now, Kelly's over here with the cucumber, the pickling cucumber plants, and she is going ahead and picking the ones that are potentially viable. But let me show you a few of these real quick. So she's picking off even the small ones, just because these plants are about to come out. So we don't want them. We don't want the small ones to go to waste. But I think Kelly actually has one that. Do you have that funky round one, or is it still down here? All right. So we're going to come down here, and right here, we're going to take a look at this funky round one. You ever seen a cucumber that looks like that? Well, now you have. It's also growing. They just started growing some funky shapes here in the last couple weeks. Yeah, I don't know if that's an indication that the plants are coming to the end of their production, or if it has something to do with something else, but it's just been interesting to watch all summer, the growth and the production and the boom that these cucumbers went through, and now to pull back on the production and be able to take them out and make other preparations for I think we're putting peas in over here, and we want to get these out of the way so that there's plenty of room and we don't have to worry about if there's any disease or the mildew or anything. We want to give the peas the best fighting chance they got so that they grow, and if they produce anything, it'll be better than the peas that we planted at the beginning of the summer. And here is our cantaloupe. Just a few weeks back, this plant was about the size of my hand, and now if we were to stretch it out, it would probably be 8 foot long or better. But we've got cantaloupe growing there, cantaloupe growing there, and if you start looking out underneath there, there's a lot of smaller ones. But my biggest concern is going to be, is there enough time for them to grow to maturity so that we can eat them? So the race is on. I'm ready for fall, but I want to be able to have some ripe cantaloupe. So come on, cantaloupe. All right, our green beans still thriving, continuing to grow. I mean, they're putting on flowers out here. We got green beans hanging over the path. There's a lot of green beans have been picked. I don't know, I think we've got 8 or 9 big bags in the freezer. I think this is just pretty though. Let's look at this. Putting on the flowers, putting on the beans, growing up the string all the way across to here. I mean, look at that. A little bitty green bean. Seriously, y'all, I'm kind of geeking out on this stuff that grows well. And I don't know, I just think it's pretty. If you're not growing anything, if you don't have a garden or whatnot, I encourage you that next year, plant something, watch it grow, get excited about it. Do something to feed yourself. Don't rely heavily on the grocery stores, or at least not as heavily as what you do now. It's a lost art up until 2020. In 2020, because of, people started gardening and growing their own stuff. People are harvesting their own animals. if you have a very small space, you can grow something. So next year, try it. Get a little greenhouse thing. You can do it all year round. Get a little grow light. You can grow it in your garage. So anyway, plant something, grow something, eat it. You'll be glad you did. Our replacement zucchini is growing big. Hopefully it will be starting to produce here in the very near future. The strawberries have really taken over. Before long, there's not going to be any bare space, and that is okay. More tomato plants and our marigolds. We got a smattering of orange and red on some of our beefsteaks. It's taken most of the summer, but they are growing, looking good. Our cherry tomatoes, they are done, but the grape tomatoes have just taken over. We have had a few, eaten a few, but if all the rest of these green ones turn red and ripen, there are still a lot of grape tomatoes that are to be had. And last but certainly not least, one of my favorites that I have shared about for a number of weeks, the onions. Let's take a look. Oh boy, look how big, look how pretty those leaves, those stalks are getting. And if you look down there, starting to peek up out of the ground. So I'm saying these are twice as big as they were a week ago. Look at that pretty ball right there. I love it. I love it. Y'all, plant some onions. Watch them grow. These, oh my gosh. So seriously, I didn't know if these were really ever going to grow. We had such a long time of wondering because they just stayed so small. But in the last few weeks, man, I've been super excited. We're gonna have some good onions. But seriously, now, last but not least, our spaghetti squash. We've got one growing right down in there, and that's the fifth one that's growing. And over here, they are really starting to get big. Oh, one there, and then a couple down on this end. So looking forward to those. Okay, so here's the plan. We're going to be taking out these cucumber plants. We've got a section here, so we're going to take out from here to right here. We're going to leave this for now. There are some cucumbers that are growing on it that we think are going to go ahead and possibly produce, but this is a healthier looking plant than the rest of these. I mean, there are still cucumbers throughout, little bitty ones. It's going to continue to produce, but at some point you have to figure out if it's worth leaving them there with some damage, with some powdery mildew, if it's going to be an issue for something else that we plant. So we just decided we're going to take out that first third or 2/3 or whatever of this section here and leave the one for now. We'll see what it does. It might eventually come out sooner than later, and I think right now we're going to leave all of this for the burpless slicing cucumbers. So anyway, yeah, that's what we're going to do. Right now we're going to take out these, see what we can do.
Jacques
All right, well, as you can see, we got that out pretty easily. We put the plants and the straw in the wheelbarrow, and because it's got the powdery mildew, we're not going to take it out to the woods or anything like that. We're actually just going to get rid of it. We're going to bag it up and it'll go out with the trash because we don't want the chance of it getting on something else. I mean, it's going to happen. There's powdery mildew all over the place just because of the weather and the climate that we're in right now, but there's no reason to unnecessarily burden other plants with it if it doesn't already have it, so we're just going to get rid of it. So right along here is where we're going to be planting the peas. Now what we got to do is prepare the bed. I don't know what we need to do right yet, but yeah, so it's going to be our second go round, and our hope is that they'll be much more successful than the first ones. So after we took out those cucumbers, I've already put them in the trash can, and Kelly has spread out some fertilizer, and now she is working that into the ground. So she's preparing it for the peas. We're gonna plant some there where she's raking right now, and then down along this side we're going to plant more. And so yeah, she's just preparing the soil right now. All right, there you go. Got the fertilizer mixed in, ready to plant some peas. Well, the peas are planted. Thank you guys for watching. I really do appreciate it. If you like this video, would you give me a thumbs up? If you've not subscribed to my channel, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. And if you want to be one of the first to be able to see a video when it comes out, hit the notification bell. Leave me a comment down below, anything that you want to say or questions that you might have. Wait until right after I finish this, and then there's some added footage at the end. You're gonna like it. I will see you guys next time. Have a great rest of the day, whatever day it is that you're watching this. See you next time. Watch for the special video right now. We have visitors today. So this mama deer, a couple months ago, she had triplets with her. One of them has disappeared in some fashion, but mama is a twin of another mama deer that's been coming around with her single baby. And back when the babies were little, both mama deers were showing up with their babies at the same time. So, hi mama. Super pretty. Beautiful animal. Yeah, go right ahead. Have your snack. Stay out of the garden. So that, they really are the reason we have this deer fence. Now I know deer can jump higher than 8 feet, but it's a deterrent and they don't come up, so they stay right down there. Right down there, snack on the vegetation. We'll look at you from a distance. We'll leave you be. she goes. And Mama. Goodbye, ladies. Thank you.